So as y'all know, I am what people would call a YouTuber, if you will, and I keep up with YouTube news to a certain degree. And I started seeing people cover this topic, and they were just kind of freaking out about like what it could mean. But on July 15th, YouTube is making a change to the partner program, a brief, small little change, and we're going to cover exactly what they're talking about in this stream. But a lot of people are concerned in regards to reaction content. Um, I have a story about reaction content actually, but before I get into that, I'm going to share my screen because we're going to be talking about the YouTube policy. I'm going to actually pull up the policy changes as they posted on their website. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and get into that. But you want to hit a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. That's very much appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. And if you're interested in going full time, whether it is freelancing, you're a YouTuber, or you're in the Airbnb or real estate game, you want to consider joining the Self-Made Business Academy. We'll be mentored by yours truly, and you'll gain access to all the products, digital products, in financial anatomy and the side hustle society. The link is in the description. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. The thing about reaction content, I've actually just recently branched off into doing reaction content. So I was thinking maybe this would affect me, but I've heard people like Nick Nimmons and Roberto Blake kind of talk about this, like it's not going to really change that much. And based on what I'm reading, yes, it's not. In fact, I think it could actually benefit YouTubers who are doing this stuff the right way and cut down on a lot of the riffraff. But let's go ahead and get into what YouTube is saying. So this is a summarized version. I think the original version they took down, but I do have a screenshot on my phone. I just can't show it on the screen. Let's go ahead and read what they have. Updates to the only thing we're talking about is the bottom part. The top part, it doesn't really matter here. So updates to YouTube Partner Program, monetization policy. In order to monetize as part of the YouTube Partner Program, YouTube has always required creators to upload original and authentic content. I had to check something on the mic. Okay. On July 15, 2025, YouTube is updating our policies or our guidelines to better identify mass-produced and repetitious content. This update better reflects what inauthentic content looks like today. Okay, so an example pops in my head when I hear this. Let's say someone has done a public speaking gig and they have their speaker reel and they have a YouTube channel. So they've uploaded that speaking gig to their YouTube channel. It's like an hour, then breaking down, whatever. Someone or multiple people get a hold of that speaking gig content or footage and they upload it on their channels. What this new policy change would do is essentially they're free to upload that content from the guy as long as they do have permission. He can still get it taken down, but assuming he doesn't care, they can upload that content, but only he would actually be making money in the form of YouTube Partner Program or the Google AdSense, and the others won't because they're not commenting on the speaking reel. They're not like they're not transforming it in any way to make it fair use or original content. I don't have any problem with that, to be honest. But let's go ahead and read the original post, which is the screenshots that I took. So, key changes. Mass-produced content. Videos created in bulk with minimal human input, such as automated presentations with synchronized voices and no personalized narrative, will face monetization restrictions. Translation. People will just drumming a bunch of stuff together with AI may not be qualified for YouTube monetization as far as that video goes. Well, shoot, I got no problem with that. Not something I do. I think it would be thinning the herd in terms of the money that's available for creators to split in the first place. In fact, one thing I'm kind of curious about on July 15th for these changes going to affect, I don't think it'll impact like a bunch of people, but are we going to see RPMs and CPMs kind of go up? Just for reference, the RPM is how much a creator makes per 1,000 views. So based on the niche you're in, will determine what RPM you have. But just for example's sake, let's just say you have an RPM of $10. Oh, after this, will the RPM go up to like $11.50 or $12 per video? Because there's less videos that those ads are getting served to. I don't think so, but that's just kind of where my mind goes. Let's keep reading. Repetitious content. Videos that reuse formats, scripts, or styles without offering distinctive value, such as reaction mashups or compilation with minimum editing, will be affected. So my mind goes to this. Let's say I have a video I'll be reacting to later in this segment. Well, not in this segment, but in the live stream. But let's just say someone wants to take that portion of my live stream that I'm reacting to something, and then they take like the reactions of like four other people and combine them to one big video and just say like everyone's reaction towards whatever. That video wouldn't qualify for monetization because they're not doing anything different with that content. It's really no different from watching me do it on my stream and each of the other creators on their own individual streams. We would all be getting paid, but the person that's curating all that, unless they're stopping and giving commentary to our reactions, reacting to content, it's not original content, so they won't be getting paid. I don't see a problem with that. It's just getting paid to be lazy. That's what it comes off to me. And YouTube is getting ahead of the curve by really, how can I put this? They're de-incentivizing this behavior because it can get way out of hand and become a bigger problem for really everyone. Content using third-party material, content borrowed from other sources must be significantly altered to be considered original. Okay, so that means that reaction content that I just mentioned is actually saved, not the compilation video, but as far as me and the other creators in the example, like when y'all hear me react to something, in fact, I'm actually a good example how to do this right. You'll hear me, I'll play a clip for like maybe 45 seconds, and then I'll go on a 5 and sometimes 7 minute rant or rumble about this, and then we'll get back to the video and play another like 90 seconds. Then I hear something I gotta spit game to, so I'll pause it. Boom, 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 boom. I'm transforming the content and making it original, and I'm giving commentary. That's essentially what they're saying. So if you're gonna be reacting to content, actually react to content. There's a bunch of people that they don't actually react to content. They'll sit here and let the whole video play, and then say like, "Oh, I thought that was pretty good," or "Oh, that sucked," or "That stuff is trash," for like 15 seconds at the end, and then upload that stuff, and they're getting paid. It looks like you might have to actually try harder and be a genuine reactor creator to get paid now. Repetitious content serving a purpose. Repetitious content must serve a purpose beyond simply gaining views, such as being entertaining or educational, to qualify for monetization. Like I said, in my case, it would be educational. But if you're going to be reacting content, you need to be tearing it down and being a jokester and being funny with it or being entertaining, or you need to be giving constructive criticism or educating your audience for it to qualify for monetization. Now, one thing I won't say concerned about, but this could be annoying. On July 15th, if a video is flagged for a review, like, hey, we need to just verify that this fits the policy to be monetized, what does that process look like and how long does it take? Because I wouldn't want a video to be uploaded and then it's going to take like 24 hours before it's reviewed and like, okay, you're good, so we go ahead and monetize. I could work around that, but I would prefer not to. So I'm a little concerned about that aspect, but we won't know how that plays out until July 15th rolls around, which is not that far away. All right, so people were freaking out about this, so YouTube actually did respond. So we're going to pull up the response real quick. Response to creator questions about YouTube Partner Program policies, July 2025. Oh, let's make that bigger. Yeah, there we go. Okay. What's changing on July 15th? To be clear, we're not introducing a new YouTube policy. This is a minor update to our long-standing repetitious content guideline. So they're basically saying that this has been a part of the policy all along. It just seems like they're getting aggressive towards enforcing it. We regularly update and evolve our policies based on the content on YouTube, and this update is to clarify this policy includes content that is mass-produced or repetitious, which content viewers often consider spam. Let's go ahead and skip to they're addressing people's direct concerns over here. Does this relate to reused content? There are no changes to our reuse content policies, which guide commentary, clips, compilation, and reaction content. See, people were specifically concerned about those outlets of making content. This content will can continue to monetize if you've added significant original commentary, modifications, or educational or like I can talk, entertainment value to the original video. Our monetization policies with more examples are shared in our help center. We're not going to click on that because actually I already gave a few examples. But I will link this article below in the description so you can check that help center out if you still feel a little anxious. Will using AI in my content be a violation of inauthentic content? We welcome creators using AI tools to enhance their storytelling, and channels that use AI in their content remain eligible to monetize. All channels must follow our monetization policies, and creators are required to disclose when their realistic content is altered or synthetic. More info on how to disclose altered or synthetic content in our help center. Can you give a few examples of what's considered mass-produced content? Okay, a few examples of mass-produced content may include a channel that uploads narrated stories with only superficial differences between them. A channel that uploads slideshows that all have the same narration. This list is not exhaustive, so be sure to continue to review your content against our monetization policies. Okay, so that it comes from YouTube themselves because they saw I won't say backlash, but just concerns that people had. So I personally don't see this as a bad thing. I know people will ask in my opinion because I am a quote unquote YouTuber. I see it as a good thing. Maybe RPMs will go up, but at the very least, it'll decentivize this laziness among creators, and it'll get people to actually put some effort into their content because there are plenty of reaction channels that aren't really reaction channels; they're re-upload channels. Like 20 seconds of commentary towards the end doesn't qualify as a reaction content in my book. That's just me personally. But that does it for this section. Like the video, much appreciated. Subscribe if you're new. And of course, check out the Self Made Business Academy. Links will be in the description. Let's go ahead and move on to the next segment.